Troops rescue 13 abducted students, 3 laborers of Federal University Gusau. Gunmen kidnap Benue State Commissioner for Information. Fire guards section of Supreme Court. And away from Nigeria, officials detained as Libya awaits inquiry into deadly floods. These are the headlines on Trust TV News Update. I am Ayuba Ile. Thanks for joining. 16 abducted persons have regained their freedom from their abductors who abducted them last Friday from the Sabongida community of Bungudu local government area of Zamfara State. The management of the Federal University Gusau confirmed their release via its official X handle, formerly called Twitter. The university said 13 abducted students and 3 laborers regained their freedom. According to them, the rescue was successful with the efforts of the Joint Task Force of Operation Hadarin Daji, troops of both land and air components. It will be recalled that unspecified female students of the Federal University Gusau were abducted in the early hours of Friday in their hostels. The Minister of State for Defense, Bello Matawale, has assured that the abducted female students of the Federal University in Gusau will be rescued and returned safely to their respective homes. This is contained in a statement by the Acting Director of Press and Public Relations Officer of the Ministry, Hope Atari. The minister, who condemned the abduction of the students, extended his sympathy to the parents, academic community and entire residents of Zamfara for the tragic incident. He added that as part of President Bola Tinubu's 8-point agenda of strengthening national security for peace and prosperity, the ministry will secure the release of the abducted students. Matole said that the air and ground components of the military have already been massively deployed within Zamfara State, as every measure will be taken to protect the lives and property of all Nigerians. He further assured residents of the state of the federal government's commitment to providing security for lives and property of all citizens. Benue State Commissioner for Information, Culture and Tourism, Matthew Abo, has been abducted. Abo was abducted from his residence at his hometown in Zakibiam community of Ukum local government area of the state on Sunday night. Witnesses said that the commissioner was abducted by gunmen who rode on 4 motorcycles to his house in Zakibiam, a rural town famous for being the largest yam market in the country. It was also gathered that the matter has been reported to the police. However, the chief press secretary to the state governor, Kula Teso, confirmed the incident. Our Daily Trust correspondent in Benue State, Hope Abba, gives an update on the situation.
Security details have been asked to go after the kidnappers of the commissioner. The governor in a statement made it known to journalists a moment ago. We've not heard much any other thing about that, and he has assured residents of the area to remain calm as the government is doing everything in collaboration with security agencies in the state to ensure the safe release of the commissioner. Well, before now, there has been the operation of a special squad of Operation Weststroke going on in the area, and it has lasted. The operations in that area has lasted for some years now, and in fact, very recently, the soldiers around the vicinities and other security men have been clamping down on most of the suspected criminals in the area. But however, there have been issues of killing still going on in the area simultaneously, especially in Ukum, where there hasn't been relative peace in the area, because almost all the time there are issues of kidnapping, there are issues of assassination, and there have been issues of armed robbery going on in the vicinity. But then the The government has assured that they are doing everything within their power to ensure that they rid that area of crime, of any type of crime at all. But this morning, all the governor has said so far is that security are working assiduously to ensure the safe release of the commissioner. But also, as we speak, it is not just the commissioner. The government also just confirmed that an ex-local government chairman was also taken away by the abductors on Saturday night. So, and he assured us, he also assured that both the ex-local government chairman and the commissioner will return safely because they are doing everything to ensure their safe return.
Now moving on, troops of Operation Safe Haven, a multi-security task force maintaining peace in Plateau and some parts of Bauchi and southern Kaduna on Monday, said that the corpse of the Fulani leader of Panyam, Adamu Idris, who was killed on Saturday evening, is yet to be discovered. The deceased was before his demise the leader of the Fulani in Panyam, district of Mangu local government area of Plateau State. A spokesperson of the operation, Captain Oya James, said that the perpetrators of the act will surely be arrested and brought to book, calling on the people of the area to remain calm. Meanwhile, an Apex Fulani professional group in Africa has condemned Saturday's gruesome killing of one of its leaders, describing the dastardly act as barbaric, senseless, and unwarranted. Residents of Enshanu community of Jos North local government area of Plateau State, where Morna Clinic and Maternity Hospital of Dr. Noah Kekere is located, have opened up on their relationship that existed between them and the controversial medical personnel. According to the community, there had been cordial relationship between them and the doctor for over 18 years until the recent allegation of organ harvesting against him. The report.
The controversial medical doctor, who was arrested by security personnel, was alleged to have harvested kidneys of Kende Kamal of Rikos and Ibrahim Ejibade, a 70-year-old man of William Street of Josno local government area of the state. The arrest of the suspected doctor came after a complaint to the Nasara Gom Police Division by Bushari Kamal, husband to one of the victims, that his wife's kidney was allegedly removed by Dr. Kekere. The Nigerian Medical Association in the state has since denied the membership of the embattled Dr. Kekere, explaining that there hasn't been any record of him at their secretariat. However, the resident of Enshanu, the host community of Murna Hospital, said they live a cordial relationship with the doctor, not knowing about his hidden secrets regarding the alleged organ harvest.
Actually, I can say before we have a very good working relationship with him. Being the host community of the proprietors of Morna Hospital and the host community, we took him as a brother. That's why that whenever he has problem concerning his hospital with my community, he normally reported it to me and I will settle their matters amicably. But fortunately for me, when I had this unfortunate news that there was a patient, he operated her sometimes about 5 years ago, and she was complaining that her kidney has been removed by him. So I have been in jittery.
The community chairman further says, throughout the period of their stay with the doctor, they have never suspected his action until the recent discovery of kidney harvesting cases against him.
We have never suspected any of his movement because we took him as a brother. We accommodate him, but he betrayed the trust and the confidence we have on him. Because what happened to Mrs. Kande is real. It's real. So and beside myself, nobody in this our community that can say that Noah is not a professional doctor. Unfortunately for us, he's not a doctor. He has no any medical certificate with him. His first degree was economics. His second degree was economics.
Rakia Haruna, who knows the embattled doctor for over 30 years, also shares her experiences with him before his arrest. I know him for a long time, and we believe then he was a trustworthy person, but unknown to us, he is dubious. We stay with him with one mind. It is said, every day for the thief, one day for the owner. We call on security agencies to investigate this matter thoroughly and ensure justice. The police in the state has recently said 2 more doctors suspected to have operated on the victim of the alleged organ harvest, Mrs. Kamal, had also been arrested. Meanwhile, victims of the organ harvesting have been calling on the security agencies to do the needful and bring all the perpetrators to book. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
Now, as a fallout of federal government increase in the salaries of lecturers across the country, students in Maiduguri also want hiked tuition fees reversed to enable them have access to affordable higher education. Bitrus Kuruti reports.
The news of the federal government's salary increase for lecturers to students in Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, was viewed as a welcome development. According to them, it will motivate lecturers and encourage them to put more effort in the teaching career.
It is a good idea because they can the lecturers, like professors, doctors, they can able to do their work efficiently.
Well, the increment ordinarily should motivate the lecturers more. We could see that in the university here, lecturers will complain about non-payment of examination fees for marking of script and stuff like that. So we usually have delay in the release of results as a result of non-payment of marking fees and stuff. So we believe with all these increments, they should be motivated to an extent and they'll be able to give in their best.
However, the students also want the government to consider reversing the hike in school fees, saying the economic hardship is making life unbearable for them and their parents.
I'm calling NUC, that is National University Commission, to direct the universities. At least if they can increase their school fees, they should increase it, not above 100%. This 200%, 300% it's not applicable. It's not good.
That the fees we've actually been paying is not feasible to meet up with certain challenges and certain services that should be offered in the university. We all understand that, but given our income also as students and even the parents, as it were, so most students found it very difficult to pay.
The result of increased school fees, many our colleagues, they find it very difficult. Many of them, they left the school because of this increment. Though we heard about they were going to increase the school fees, but we don't expect this high rate. We are calling the federal government to intervene or the National Universities Commission to look about it.
While some schools across the country reviewed their fees, many students want the federal government to make education not just accessible but also affordable. Bitrus Kuruti, Trust TV News, Maiduguri.
Now, earlier today, fire gutted some parts of the chamber of one of the justices of the Supreme Court. The cause of the fire outbreak was yet to be ascertained as at the time of filing this report. Operatives of the Federal Fire Service have long put out the fire. Now reports that 3 offices torched include Chamber of Justice Muhammad Salah, Director of Press and Information of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, Festus Akande, confirmed the fire. It was gathered that the cleaners on duty and some of the workers who resumed early for work detected the fire and raised the alarm. The workers were said to have used the fire extinguishers in the building to combat the fire. 3 offices, including that of Justice Muhammad Salah, were torched. You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Coming up shortly, we take a look at what incentives gum Arabic producers need to boost production. Details and more after the break. Welcome back. You're watching the news update on Trust TV. A look at the top stories again. Troops rescue 13 abducted students, 3 laborers of Federal University Gusau. Gunmen kidnap Benue State Commissioner for Information. In other news, reactions have continued to trail decision by Gombe State government to enforce ban on gala nightclubs in the capital, Gombe. Now, the security analyst says that the move is a good step in the right direction towards improving the security situation in the state, while a criminologist in the Gombe State University is of the view that more stringent measures must be implemented to address immoral behavior being propagated at the gala night centers. Ibrahim Ismail reports.
Concerned with the level of immoral behavior at the nightclubs in Gombe, the government had earlier demolished 5 centers which have become hotspots of women's exploitation. 100 people were arrested in one of the security raids conducted in collaboration with the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC.
Centers violate the principles of religious morality, violate the principles of public morality. So in a general sense, trying to marry these together, we can say that it is some acts that group of young persons that are indulging in this kind of acts that contravene or that go contrary to the expectation of the larger members of the society, or that violate the expectation of adults and elders of the society, which to a larger extent, if we are to look at it in line with your question, we can say that this will further accumulate into a very serious problem in the upbringing of the younger persons.
A university don, Dr. Adamu Ahmad, who is also a criminologist at the Gombe State University, urged security agencies to be professional in the implementation of ban on gala nights and advised authorities to investigate owners and operators of the clubs.
It's not just about banning. It is good for us to have like a snowballing investigation. Who initiated this? What are the reasons behind this? Then we try to identify this from this to this, up to the level where we understand the dynamics of the whole issue. Then try to design a framework so that this kind of thing will never manifest again in this environment. So without thinking beyond this, it is going to be difficult for us to say that we have banned the gala centers or the entertainment centers, and we shouldn't be expecting these entertainment centers to manifest in a different form. Or they used to organize what they call barbecue, where they will go outside the city, organize like a party, the younger persons will gather. It's the same thing that is going on in the gala center that now has improved to be like a formal setting and a particular environment where they will be carrying out these kind of activities almost every day.
In recent years, Gombe State has witnessed an influx of underage girls from neighboring state and other parts of the country who are involved in immoral activities at the night centers. Ibrahim Ismail, Trust TV News, Gombe.
Now, gum Arabic producers in Nigeria say insecurity and low government incentives are some of the challenges undermining productions of the commodity, despite its contributions to the nation's gross domestic product (GDP). Gum Arabic is produced in commercial quantities in Borno, Yobe, Jigawa, Katsina, Sokoto, Zamfara, and Kebbi State. Abdullahi Amadi tells us how insecurity affects gum Arabic production and plantation of acacia tree, which produces the export commodity. The report.
Boko Haram in the northeast and banditry in the northwest regions have significantly dwarfed the volume of gum Arabic production in Nigeria.
So unfortunately for us, there was this emergence of Boko Haram. So with the emergence of Boko Haram, the prime area of gum Arabic producers had to lie fallow. So we had to lose virtually almost 3/4 of our membership and the production range and so on and so forth. And with the emergence of banditry, everything was compounded again.
This is one out of hundreds of acacia. Boko Haram in the northeast and banditry in the northwest regions have significantly dwarfed the volume of gum Arabic production in Nigeria.
So unfortunately for us, there was this emergence of Boko Haram. So with the emergence of Boko Haram, the prime area of gum Arabic producers had to lie fallow. So we had to lose virtually almost 3/4 of our membership and the production range and so on and so forth. And with the emergence of banditry, everything was compounded again.
This is one out of hundreds of acacia tree farms, which is over 3,000 hectares at Mani local government area of Katsina State. Here, gum Arabic is being harvested all year round, a produce that is rapidly sought after at the international market.
Economically, is the only valuable economic tree we have in the Far North, in the Sahel area. The only economic commodity which we can take to international market is purely gum Arabic, other than probably groundnut and cotton. The only other thing is gum Arabic.
Despite the economic importance and the impact on the value chain, plantation of acacia tree as well as gum Arabic production, its producers say, has been neglected by successive governments. They are, however, hopeful that the trend will change for the better.
As market price is concerned, it's one of the commodity which enjoys the most stable market pricing for the last 10-20 years. Because as far as I can remember, within the last 10 years, there was no time this commodity came below $5 per kilogram or $5,000 per ton.
Agricultural experts say if governments of the gum Arabic producing states will pay attention to the sector, issues of unemployment and low revenue generation will be reduced to the barest minimum. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
And away from Nigeria, the mayor of Libya's eastern city of Derna was detained along with other officials on suspicion of mismanagement and negligence over the collapse of dams that flooded the city 2 weeks ago, Libya's Attorney General's office said on Monday. The Attorney General's office, based in the capital Tripoli, said it had issued orders to detain 8 local officials over the collapse of the dams in a storm which unleashed the torrent that swept neighborhoods into the sea, killing thousands. Those detained included the mayor and an official in charge of water resources, it said, without identifying them. Angry residents have blamed the authorities for the collapse of the dams, which had been built to hold back the flow into the seasonal river running through the city. Now, a 2007 contract to repair the dams was never completed amid civil war that began with the NATO-backed uprising that toppled Muammar Gaddafi in 2011. Now, Derna was controlled until 2019 by fighters from a series of groups, including Islamic State. In sports news, the women's football event of 2023 National Youth Games started with Team Ogun securing a 5-0 win against Team Adamawa at Ogwashi Uku on Sunday. Damilola Adeyanju scored a hat-trick to lift the Gateway State side to a healthy triumph over their northern rivals. Tosin Elijah opened the scoring for Ogun in the 4th minute of play. Dosumu Temitokwe doubled the lead in the 16th minute from the penalty spot. Adeyanju increased the lead to 4 with 2 goals in the 23rd and 27th minutes before completing her hat-trick in the 87th minute with the 5th goal. Now, Team Ogun will face either host Delta or Lagos State in the semi-final. The winner of the quarter-final game between Bayelsa and Cross River State will meet Abia State in the second semi-final. And that's a wrap on the news update. You can watch more via all our social media platforms and also on our YouTube live stream. I am Ayuba Ile. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.